The dude's got some balls, right? He's got the same balls as Trump, except he seems to have less of an ego. And I think that's where you're going to get the best governance. Here's my big problem, though. Donald Trump was in office for 2 years with the Republican House and the Republican Senate and talked about draining the swamp. He ran on this. The swamp's still there. He didn't do a thing about it. You and Delano were talking about Trump and DeSantis earlier. I actually think DeSantis would go in there and drain the swamp. Trump had 4 years to do it, 2 of which he had all the power in the world to get stuff done and did not do it.
I wasn't expecting you to go there. I was going to take you there, but I wasn't expecting you to go there. And so you're someone that thinks DeSantis would be a far better candidate than Trump in 24.
Not far better. I wouldn't say I'm as extreme on that as Delano. But in the primary, if DeSantis is on the ballot, I'm voting for him. Now, that's not to say that I won't vote for Trump for a third time with joy. I even voted for Trump in the primary in 2016 before anything got started over Cruz and the rest of the field. So I have voted for Trump every time he's been on the ballot thus far. DeSantis has shown me, you showed the tweet earlier, the dude's got some balls, right? He's got the same balls as Trump, except he seems to have less of an ego. And I think that's where you're going to get the best governance. This is a guy that won, I think he won Florida against Andrew Gilliam by something like 33,000 votes. It wasn't much. And he was the first guy when Trump was still, because of his arrogance, touting all of the vaccine stuff and telling you it was the most effective, greatest thing ever, and I did it, Operation Warp Speed. DeSantis was like, we're not forcing that here in Florida, and take off those stupid masks, and we're open for business. And if you guys up in New York don't want to be dealing with this COVID stuff, move here. And Florida has been booming because of it. He was the first guy to do that, and he was right. This is a guy that understands the culture war, right? This is when Leah Thomas won the women's national championship. He came out immediately, and I think the girl's name is Emma Wyatt. She got in second place. He said, here in Florida, she's our national championship winner because we care about the truth. He understands the culture war. He understands children, right? He bans CRT in schools. He won't let children or businesses teach the ridiculous myth of white privilege. I mean, look, he picked a fight with Disney. If you're willing to pick a fight with Disney in the state of Florida, who aren't you willing to pick a fight with? So he's done it as much as he can from Florida, and he's doing it, to me, without an ego. My biggest issue with Donald Trump is that Trump loves people who love Trump. Trump doesn't necessarily love truth, where I think Ron DeSantis loves truth.
So one of your criticisms of Trump was that, hey, first 2 years, he had the political muscle to really drain the swamp, and he didn't do it. What would you say to someone that would argue like, whew, the guy wants to get a second term, the whole media has pegged him as this authoritarian dictator, and if he had come right out of the gate using all of that political muscle, the media would have said, look at Donald Trump, he's the dictator we said he was, and so that there are people that believe like, oh, if he gets back in office, given all that he's experienced, now he can actually drain the swamp now that the public has been educated, more of the public has been educated to the fact we need to drain this swamp.
I don't think the media did anything different. As soon as he got in office and sat down, they said, see, he's a dictator. So I don't know how the coverage would have been any different if he actually went in and tried to drain the swamp.
Not different coverage. He would have left them. He didn't want to give them any proof, any leg to stand on. And he's thinking, like, if I do it coming out of the gate, I may not get a second term. The timing may be best to do it in my second term.
I saw a lot of
playing
people
devil's advocate.
I get you. I saw a lot of people last night, and I actually agree with this to some degree, that to make the argument that the left, and I guess the Department of Justice and FBI at this point, have provided basically a golden platform for Donald Trump to stand on today to announce his 2024 intentions. And I realize Ron DeSantis can't do it right now, but he should win his governor election, he's going to win by a landslide. And if he's on board, because there's some stuff going on, it seems, behind the scenes. I don't know if you've seen Charlie Kirk with TPUSA is having Ron DeSantis speak at his events right now in basically a unite. I don't know remember what he calls it, Unite America or whatever. It is DeSantis speaking for Trump-backed candidates. So I wonder if there's more going on behind the scenes than we can actually see because of what I think is the 12th Amendment. I think Trump would have to move his residents out of Florida for those two to run together. But if there is, I do think Trump, to answer your question, if there is a chance for him to get back in, I do think he would drain the swamp. I think Ron DeSantis, with what he said last night, it would actually be great timing. Trump should say today, I think that I'm going to be your president in 2024, and I'm allowing my intentions to be known right now. And come about November, December, I'm going to have a nice surprise for you. And that should be having Ron DeSantis be his BP. And then you may be looking at the 12-year reign that you saw with Reagan and Bush Sr. from 80 to 92, whatever it was.